And thank you, Alex, for organizing it and giving us this amazing opportunity to share our work to a broader audience. So I am the lead developer of the Austrian NeuroCloud, and soon you will learn a little bit about us. I will just make it maybe full screen. So the Austrian NeuroCloud is a repository for neuroscientific data, but we go a little bit beyond just basic archiving, and I hope this presentation will make you excited about our work. So this is the agenda for today. On the left-hand side is a little bit of talking and telling you who we are, what we do, and how we operate. And on the right-hand side, there will be some demo involved. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I tested it yesterday and it should work. Now, the objectives of the Austrian NeuroCloud are manifold. So first of all, it's a fair enabling platform for sustainable research data management in cognitive neuroscience. Cognitive neuroscience is our specialty, but neuroscience in general is our target. Now, it's not only a repository, as I've already said, but we go beyond that. So we would like the Austrian NeuroCloud to be a single source of truth for your data. We leverage the domain-specific expertise to standardize and validate data sets, reducing manual effort for the researchers, and this is the focus. So our understanding is that FAIR and other domain-specific aspects in our field are quite complex and difficult to understand, and difficult to apply for single researchers without studying them for a longer time. So we would like that the researchers do not have to go into the depth, but simply use our platform. Now, we also want to enable seamless discovery, interoperability, and integration into broader research context, and we achieve that by continuous and comprehensive metadata curation. And here, the important aspect is that the metadata formats evolve, the standards change, and from our side, we would like to support the researchers in this evolution. So we would like to be on top of all the changes and simply instruct our users what has to be done, if anything. And at the end, we would like to empower researchers to streamline the data acquisition, storage, sharing, and processing without mastering the FAIR principles or the technical complexities. This is also important because many of our users, many of our depositors do not have the technical expertise to execute, for example, software on the HPC, and we would like to support them with that. All right. I will just look quickly to my notes if I didn't forget anything at the moment. Now, at this point, I would like to thank the founders and our collaborators. So especially the three logos on top, so our university and the ministry. Now the name of the ministry has changed, it's still the old logo, and the Land Salzburg for financially supporting us. Without this money, this would not be possible. And the FAIR Impact projects for supporting us also in terms of increasing interoperability, increasing legal awareness, and and finding ourselves in the EOSC ecosystem. And on the bottom, we have Salzburg Collaborative Computing. This is the entity which hosts our services and hardware. The nice bagel logo are our collaborators from Canada that help us with discoverability of our data sets, and the domain-specific software and standards like BITS, hierarchical event descriptors, and Bitcoin. These people also help us making our data sets better. So thank you a lot for that. And at the beginning, a little short history. So, I'm sorry. So the Austrian NeuroCloud started as a project in 2020, financed by the ministry. And the goal was to create a platform for managing neuroscientific data. At that point, or during the project, we chose GitLab as the software backend for managing the data and implementing the workflows. We decided how the data should be organized. We prototyped the workflows, and we started onboarding datasets. And this project has ended with the end of the year officially. During that time, a sister project has been established, the Digital Neuroscience Initiative, funded by Land Salzburg. And this project helped us with developing a legal framework. We needed to understand the legal aspect of managing research data in general, and especially the neuroscientific data. We worked on the knowledge representation of our metadata, and this project also brought us hardware. So Austrian NeuroCloud is running on its own custom hardware. Here you can see that this is a small computing cluster with lots of storage. And in 2025, the University of Salzburg stepped up and made us sustainable. So with 2 permanent senior scientist positions dedicated to the Austrian NeuroCloud, and by having us in the performance agreement with the ministry. So we are very thankful for that. This year also the Salzburg collaborative computing come into life. So the servers are being installed and configured as we speak. This is a large computing cluster funded by the ministry in Salzburg, and our hardware and services will be hosted by the SCC. And this year we also start regular operations. We don't know when they end. Hopefully we can support you as long as we can. Yeah, but that's why also we started this outreach, and we want to let people know about us. So that's a short history. Now, this work would not be possible without people, of course. And here my thanks go to everyone listed and all people that collaborated with us before. This is also how the team is structured at the moment. So we have the core team with people dedicated to the evolution of the Austrian NeuroCloud. My name is in bold. The first person is Florian Hutzler, the PI and the mastermind behind the Austrian NeuroCloud, the person with great vision and who just made it happen in essence. We have ambassadors. So these are our people who know everything about the ANC that has to be to know. And they are so kind to spread the information about Austrian NeuroCloud, help the users, direct users to us, and share the news. We also start building a community with regular community meetings. The first happened this month. We would like to keep it every month or every other month. And these community meetings are meant for user feedback, feature requests, to present our development roadmap, news, reporting, and also building communities that would like to develop something with us in the ANC. Now, we as a repository, of course, would like to comply with certain guidelines and certain requirements. So here you can see a picture of things on my desk. On the top is the court trust seal. We're working on that. The plan is to submit it for the certification by the end of June. But you also see other guidelines and other requirements that we are aware of. So these are both broad, like the EOSC requirements, European Open Science Cloud, and narrow, like the requirements for neuroscience domain. Okay, now I have to look into my notes because things start happening in the presentation. Now, so how we are organized, how we are built, and what how do we operate? We chose GitLab as the storage backend and data management software. Now, I don't know if everyone is familiar with GitLab, but maybe more people know a thing called GitHub. This is a similar platform, but we host it on premises. That means that nothing leaves our servers. Behind GitLab is Git versioning control system. Now, it's a powerful tool, and it allows us to do certain things like versioning control and change traceability to our data sets, which is quite important. And the data is organized with brain imaging data structure, which is community standard for neuroscientific data. Now I would like to show you, how was it? Okay. So this is our website, which is basically the gateway to the Austrian NeuroCloud. So here you should find all the information that is relevant and list of all the services and resources that you may be interested in. And the most important part of this website is actually the link to the handbook, which is our documentation. So here you will find everything that all the workflows and all the information that is relevant for you as depositors, including all the legal aspects, manuals, etc. All right, so now it's time to start. To show you things around. Okay, I tested everything yesterday, so it should go smooth. By the way, so I forgot to say that if you have any questions, please note them, and then we can always go back at the end of the presentation, which makes it more smooth. All right. So let's see how it works. What you see is the platform. So what you see is the Austrian NeuroCloud. Now since I'm the administrator, you see more than you will usually see. So you get a sneak peek into the system. Now let's see that I am a neuroscientist and I would like to start working with the Austrian NeuroCloud. So these are all our data sets. These are actually groups of data sets. And let's say that I am part of the neurocognition lab, which I am. And I would like to start collecting data. Now, I need to create a new project. And for that purpose, we created a template. And let's say that I just want a basic bits project. So I can use that template and I can create a project, and let's call it shared RDM demo. And I have to change that everything works well. Now, by default, all the projects are private, and that means that we protect the information that you store. You can make projects public, but this has to go through the review such that we make sure that no personal information is leaked. So this is our new project. There are many files at the beginning. Many of them are operational files that you don't have to know in detail. There is a README file already with a template for you that tells you what kind of information you may want to put in. Of course, it's up to you what you put in the README file. There is a license this is our custom license that we developed together with our friends from the Department of Civil Law at the University of Salzburg. And the reason for that was that none of the licenses that are actually out there served the purpose of the ANC. So the idea is that the ANC is the single source of truth for your data, and you don't have to worry that your data sets are being republished and uh, uh, modified in some other places. Of course, sharing is possible, and combining the information from your data sets to others is also possible. But we just want to make sure that all the legal aspects are covered. If you have any comments to the licensing or to the legal framework, we're happy to hear from you. So this is the license. There's also some template files, like the file with participants that you have to fill in, and the metadata. There is a citation CFF file, which is a standard for annotating data sets. Here you already see some dummy names of the authors and some abstract. What we also do in these templates, we already give you tasks. So here are the issues that you may want to resolve. So for example, fill in the metadata in the citation CFF file or fill in the README file. An important issue is the dataset status issue, which we created at the moment to keep track of what is happening in the dataset. And this is the issue for you to communicate also with your data stewards. And no data steward is assigned yet to this issue, so let's see how long does it take our data stewards to assign themselves to this new data set. Yeah, let's see. Now, what I would like to show you is maybe how resolving these issues could work for you. So let's go here. Mm-hmm. So the citation CFF file is the file endorsed by brain imaging data structure, also to keep all the metadata about your data set. So here you have also information of how you can fill it in and what you can fill it in. Let's say that I want to work on that, so I create so-called merge request. Some people may be familiar with that already. I assign it to myself, and I will start working on it. When it comes to text files, I can work directly from the website. So I can open Visual Studio Code directly in the browser, go to the citation CFF file and say, okay, so let's say that John Doe is me. If there is problem with viewing anything, just let me know. So let's find the roar of the University of Salzburg. All right. And let's find my ORCID number. That should be this. So let's say that for the sake of this demo, this is everything what I want to change currently. So I can view the changes immediately. So this is what happened. This is the changes that I've done, and I can commit them to the platform. All right. So let's see what happens here. So first of all, you can see that I made one change. you can also see the change that I've made in this piece of work and in the piece that tries to resolve the citation CFF file. What's also happening here immediately is you see that something is running. And when we view what is really running is the pipeline that does certain things. We do bits validation, so we check if the data set is valid. And it seems that it is. Oh, sorry. We also check the current status of the data set against our template, because our template evolves in the sense that we add new supported metadata and we add new tasks for you. And we just wanted to keep an eye if older data sets are complying with the newest template. And what also happens is we generate a website for your data set. So since everything seems to work, let's try to have a look at it. Okay. I will look into my notes if I didn't forget about anything. Okay. So now if we are happy with our changes, let's say that we mark them as ready. Let's see if any data steward has picked up our data set already. Okay, so we see that Barbara assigned herself to be our data steward. Now, in general, as a depositor, as a collaborator on a data set, you're not allowed to merge the changes. This is only to make sure that you don't merge any mistakes or any unintended changes. So I can simply ask Barbara to have a look at our data set. Once I assign her as a reviewer, she knows about that. She gets an email. She looks at our data set, and then let's see if she agrees with the changes and if she merges them in. Okay, so here you can see that the changes are already merged. So our data steward agreed with them. We can go to the data set. The pipelines are running on the newly merged changes, and this is the basic workflow. That went smooth. So let's go back to the talk. And let's see, let's continue because I have to now rush a little bit. Now, let's talk about the metadata. So the idea is that the data sets in general, to be fair, they should be as closed as necessary, as open as possible. So all our data sets are by default private. That means no one can access them, and that is due to the neuroimaging nature of the data. That means that some of the data sets simply carry personal information, and the information cannot be publicly available. This is not a problem in sharing the data, but they cannot be publicly available. So the idea is that the data is closed, but the metadata is open. And for that, we also have a metadata specification that tells you what the metadata is, the sources of the metadata, which information from which file we are processing and exposing for you via certain dissemination channels. The main channel the main channel is our querying interface. which shows all the data sets. It's a beta version that was deployed quite recently. You can browse through our data sets. You can query our data sets by basic information at the moment, but we're working on it. And you can see them. I think this is the data set that we're interested in. So this is data set that was also created for the purposes of the Austrian NeuroCloud. Here you can see its website. Here you can see information, basic statistics about the subjects, data types that are present in the data set that comes from the BITS vocabulary. And you can also learn how to cite this data set, how to access this data set. Behind all this information is our knowledge graph that I will try to deploy locally for the moment because the interface is not available for everyone. We have an API if you are a programmer and you would like to interact with us. So this I can show you immediately. So this is the API that in GraphQL format that you can interact and you can automatically retrieve information from our knowledge graph. Now I need to find a link to the knowledge graph. Okay. Just to show you that I'm not lying, there is a graph behind. Let's have a look at the data sets. Currently, the information in the graph is rather basic and the data set level, but we're working on it to increase it. So for example, this is the data set that we're interested in. There are some authors, that's the orange nodes. We can see which other data sets they co-authored. We can also see their affiliations. That's most probably University of Salzburg. As you can see here. And this is how we organize the metadata for you. Okay. I need to look into my notes. Okay, let's go back to the data set itself. So I guess for depositors, this is the most important, one of the most important parts of the Austrian NeuroCloud besides just storing the data itself. So this website is a representative website. This is also a landing page if you have a DOI. So this data set has already DOI assigned. So if you go to DOI, we are redirected to this page. What we also do, we store within the website, we store metadata in a JSON LD format such that it can be harvested and understood by machines. And what we also do is we direct ourselves what to put on this page and how to put it using FAIR assessment tools like Fuji, which is a tool for automated FAIR data assessment. So it looks at the FAIR principles and implements metrics to assess them. If we have a DOI of a data set, we can see how well are we doing. So here we see that the FAIR level of the data set, of this data set by Ava is 80%. Everyone can do it on their own. So it's not only us doing it for our users, but our users can also have a look into this data set. We can see the levels of all the FAIR principles and the metrics. And we can, for example, see, okay, there is something maybe missing here. Okay, there is no result here. Maybe there are some information missing, like creator is there, title is there, maybe summary is not there. And we can also see that the summary is not there when we go to our interface because there's no abstract here. So maybe Ava wants to have a look at her data set and add an abstract. Let's look at Eva's data set. So since I'm a data steward myself too, I have access to all the data sets. Maybe Eva wants to. Oh, we see that Eva already wanted to add an abstract, but this change is still not merged in. Let's have a look. So Eva already decided to add an abstract. The change is already there. Yeah, maybe we can see if adding these changes will improve the fairness score of this data set. Yeah, let's see. Let's wait for Ava or another data steward to merge it in. I will not do that because I'm currently occupied with the presentation. And what is also happening behind the scenes, so for you, oh, okay, so someone already merged it in. So Monique picked it up as a data steward. She checked if everything is fine. She merged it in. We have to wait for the pipelines to pass, and then we can check if it did anything to our data set. But in the meantime, I want to show you what happens behind the scenes. So we generate DOIs, so persistent identifiers for our data set. We use DataCite for that with the services of our library. And if we query for the DOI in the DataCite Commons interface, you can see that our data set is already there with all the metadata information like creators. We are planning to update these entries automatically for our users. So this is also the single source of truth that I told you about. We want that our users change their metadata in our Austrian NeuroCloud, and they then don't have to care about other external services because we will disseminate these changes automatically. This information currently also goes to OpenAirGraph, which is a graph of all the scientific information that is out there. It's quite enormous. You can see if the DOI is there. You can see that the data set is there. There are the authors that are linked with the ORCID ID, and the data set is published by the Austrian NeuroCloud. This is currently harvested from the data side, not from us directly, but we're working on it that we include our data set ourselves in the OpenAirGraph. So that's another information I wanted to show you. And last but not least, if I go back to the talk, there is another interface by our friends from NeuroBagel team. Sorry. This is the NeuroBagel project, and if we go to their interface, I think it's the easiest to show you how it works. So it's a cohort querying interface where it's a federated query engine. That means that there are several repositories already included, and you can find data sets together between all these repositories by specifying participant information like age, gender, diagnosis, and assessment tools, modalities, etc. And if we look at our data sets within the NeuroBagel interface, you can see that they are already findable. So these are the data sets that are included. That means that people can find our data sets in a broader context of many repositories. So this is a great research tool. Good. Let's go back to our ANC language data set. Let's see if anything happened after the abstract was merged. Okay, I have to close some tabs. I'm already escalating with the number of tabs. First of all, what we can do, we can see if the abstract was added in the metadata, but that is not there. Oh yeah, it is. There is a description, and now we can see if this helped anything. We haven't rehearsed it before, just a disclaimer. Oh, wow. So now, so it was 80%, now it's 84. Eva is happy, and her data set is more fair. It's a little gamification aspect of fairness, but I find it quite nice. Good. Now, that would be the metadata part, so you can see how we disseminate your work and how we put it in a broader context. This is another thing that we are working on intensively, and we try or we offer that your labs can integrate with the Austrian NeuroCloud flawlessly, and this is the reason behind it is that the nature of neuroscientific data is so that they are acquired over time. So we call it living data. And what we want to enable is that the data is processed as it is acquired. Ideally, there is an automated raw data ingestion process. So that means that, for example, from a scanner through the data conversion to the data ingestion, this part is automated for you, so you don't have to do it manually as a researcher. So the benefit of that is that we can validate the data before it is merged, and we can ensure the data integrity and, for example, discard immediately faulty acquisitions or add additional information to the data when it's being merged. And what we can also implement for your labs or help you implementing is custom data operations, for example, validation or quality control. And now I would like to show you how this could look like. Let's go back to our data set. And let's say that I am a neuroscientist based in Salzburg, and I go to MRI lab and I acquire data from the MRI scanner. Now I have to fake it a little bit because I don't have anyone now currently at the MRI lab who could acquire the data for me. So I will try to trigger that on my computer. I hope this works well because I tried it yesterday. All right. So things start happening. So we see that there is one merge request. That means that something is happening on our data set. It's called add data of new subject. We can go there. We have a summary. So that means that a file has been processed, that this is the study name, the subject identifier, this is the session. Now on my computer, I see that the data is being extracted at the moment, that we should see the updates of this process soon. It takes a moment because it's a few hundred of megabytes. Let me look. All right, something is happening. We see that the DICOM files have been extracted. Now, another step of the process has been done. So here we see our our sequences that were acquired at the scanner. At this point, I would like to thank one of our depositors, because I'm reusing currently one of the data sets. I hope they don't mind. And I would like to thank Eva personally for keeping the documentation so neat and so up to date that this worked for me yesterday smoothly. What we can also see is that in case, so this is MRI data, so of course it's specific to MRI data, but we can have some log information. So what has happened during the conversion, how the conversion has been executed. So those of you who work with MRI maybe know this DCM2NIX tool that has been executed. You can see all the information. Now you can also see that the files are being added to the merge request. Yeah, we have to wait for all of them. Yeah, it's still working. This is just the network transfer, so it always takes a while to transmit hundreds of megabytes. All right. Okay. We also see that the acquisition workflow completed and succeeded. Now, what we also see that the pipeline is being triggered. That means that the data will be validated for us, and we will get an information. Oh, and we see that something happened, that most probably the data is not bits valid. And here you can see what is really a problem. So, well, there is a warning that tells us that the participant IDs is mismatched. That means that most probably there is some data for a participant that is not in the participant registry file, and we get an error that the event files are missing. This is for the task-based fMRI researchers important that the log of the events that happened during the experiment is also added. So what we can do, we can try to immediately fix it. Okay, so let's have a look again what is wrong. Okay, so first of all, we have to fix the participant mismatch. As you can see, there's a subject with one session, and there's this very important file, participant TSV, that is a registry of the participant and has to match with the data that we have. So let's add the subject here. And okay, I have to change to tabulator. Spaces, tabs, okay. Now the age, let's say it's 39, and let's say it's a male participant. I also have a list of things that I would have to do. Then it tells us that the event files are missing. So that's the log files. I have them prepared. So first of all, I will add the log files to all the task-based MRI acquisitions. So here you see the events with onset, duration, and other properties. That's basically a trace of what happened during the fMRI experiment while the data was acquired. And what I also will add, which is very important, is the description of those events, which are additional JSON files where you can see all the metadata information about the events with their descriptions. So these are basically definitions of the columns of the events. All right, I guess that should be it. I'm looking at my notes because, okay, and no one tells me that I added them in the wrong place. All right, now this should be fine. Let's have a look what I did. It's always good to double check what someone did. Okay, so I added the participant, I added the files. Okay, that should be it. And I commit the changes to my merge request. We can go back. We see that the pipeline is running again. Here you have summary of the changes, so you can see all the files. So both the imaging data and the events that I've just added, these tabular files and their descriptors, everything, and the change to the participant file here. This is summary of all the changes. You can look at the pipeline. The data is now valid, and the website will be generated. So let's go back and wait for it. Okay. So since we're done and we think it's all good and all is green, then we can ask our data steward to have a look at our merge request. We say we are ready, and we will wait. We will wait for the merge. This I can close. All right, so our data steward accepted the changes, and now we can wait for the pipeline to build again on the entire data set. And then I will show you the dataset website. Okay. All green, we are happy, and we can have a look. How does our data set look outside to everyone who visits it? And here you can see already the change that I've made. So I made myself an author. And here you can already see that the statistics have changed, and there is one subject. It has this specific data types, and this is its age histogram. Okay, so these are the workflows, and this is how a lab integration could look like. So we're currently collaborating with people acquiring MRI data in Salzburg, MEG, and EEG. We have the pipelines almost ready. The next step would be to deploy them in production and start using them. Good. Going back to our presentation. So you've already seen that throughout my demo. I just wanted to summarize it a little bit and give you hints of what our platform can do for you. So we call it data operations. So that's pipelines and processes that work on your data for you. You've already seen bits validation. So when data sets are evaluated against the standard. We keep an eye for you on the developments in this standard, and we keep updating the pipelines that it tries to validate data sets against newer and newer and newer versions of the standard. A big step will be a change to version 2.0 that is already planned and ongoing. And if I was a researcher, I would not like to learn myself how to update a bits data set to version 2.0. So if you don't want to do that, we will do it for you because we have to, but I personally, as a researcher, wouldn't like to do that. It will be quite complex from my intuition. We also do data stewardship, so we make sure that the metadata in your data set complies to our templates as they evolve, and we make sure that you know about the changes, or we make the changes for you if we don't need an interaction with you. And we generate those beautiful dataset websites together with metadata such that they are fair. And we also have repository-wide data operations that includes mainly metadata harvesting and curation, and also hardware assignments, because all these pipelines have to run somewhere. Based on the size of your data set, they are assigned to different machines. And this is the last slide that I have. I will just look into my notes if I didn't miss anything. All right. So this is a glimpse of what we're currently working on and what we will be working on. So one big step is to certify with the Core Trust Seal, which is a certification for trustworthy repositories, which is currently the certification for a repository. We are pretty sure we can be certified. It's just a matter of writing a long document and explaining why we should be certified. We engage with the community, therefore also this webinar. We would love to onboard more data sets. So if you have a data set that is a neuroscientific data set or that fits a brain imaging data structure format, we will be happy to work with you on that. Maybe then we have a self-deposit guide that could help you to onboard your data set yourself. So if it's already in bits format, you can try out our guide, and we would be happy to get feedback on it. We try to acquire funding for future development. So as I told you, we are sustained by the University of Salzburg with 2 permanent positions, which is really good because we can offer you services for a longer time. However, that these resources are not enough if you would like to do bigger developments or more fancy developments. What we also try to is to advance the interoperability of our data sets and put them in larger context. So we would like that your data sets that you deposit with us are discoverable by more and more people. We also try to outreach to other relevant communities, projects, and research infrastructures. So we do it for you. And a big step also forward would be to automate data processing. So neuroscience data sets have to undergo certain pre-processing, certain analysis. And if you know what has to be done to your data set and how it has to be processed and analyzed, we would like to automate it for you as the data comes while you acquire it. So these are the big plans. And with that, I would like to thank you all for listening. And we are really looking forward to collaborating with any of you. Here you can see also an email that is our general communication channel with anyone. And I also would like to ask at this moment the team who's present in the talk whether I missed anything or whether anyone would like to add something. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. Okay, so no one from the team wants to say anything, so it seems it worked well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your awesome presentation. I will stop the recording.